This is chapter one of the next Why mystery featuring Detective Natty Moreland of Bristol, Tennessee. Uh, the title of this book is Why Now? And this is chapter one, Nathan Calls. "Don't hang up," he blurted when she answered. "I can explain everything." I doubt that, thought Natty. She was mad. It had been 2 weeks since she heard from Nathan. 2 weeks ago, she would have said they were on track to get back together. He had been there for her through one of the most challenging cases of her career. He had been there for her even to the point of neglecting his own business. Then, when the case was all over, she found herself back in the hospital. He was by her side then, too. After she was ready to trust him finally, though, he disappeared. They were supposed to have lunch with Kevin and Knox, but he didn't show. It was a toss-up as to what she was angrier about, his disappearance or her getting her hopes up before he did it. He continued, "I know you're upset." Upset? Upset doesn't begin to describe what I am. Her voice was crisp and edgy. "I was trying to protect you from what was going on with me," he pleaded. It's always about you, she thought. "They took the bar, but that's okay," he continued. "I just didn't want you to worry about that, and now—" "Wait a minute," she interrupted him. "What do you mean, they took the bar? Who took the bar?" "The bank did. But it's okay, really, Natty, it's okay. I never should have tried to own a bar. You were right." "An alcoholic owning a bar?" he snorted. "What was I thinking?" "Banks don't just take businesses, Nathan." "Banks foreclose on businesses all the time," he said, raising his voice. "Just look around." "Nathan," she said sternly, "how long have you been in trouble with the bank?" She knew they most likely warned him several times before seizing his assets. She knew it was Citizens Bank that held the note. Citizens was locally owned and operated. They did not want to own a bar, and they for sure didn't want to have to sell it. They would have worked with him, even to the point of giving him business advice. All he had to do was cooperate. But she knew him too. When the going got tough, he'd shut down, and if it got worse, he'd disappear. This was all too familiar. He laughed. "I'm not in trouble anymore. The bar is gone, and so are all the headaches that went with it." "So, where have you been for the last 2 weeks?" "I told you I was going away for a while," he said defensively. "No," she said firmly, "you didn't tell me that." "I had to get my head together, retreat, regroup, plan out my next move." She knew he had sidestepped her question, and he was lying about having told her. Why would you begin with "don't hang up, and I can explain," she thought. "So, did you?" she asked. "Did I what?" "Did you get your head together?" "I did. Wait till you hear what I got going on." "Nathan, I'm just not interested." "Are you serious? I've been through hell here, and now that I've put it all together, the only thing I want to do is share it with you. I just wanted to be in a place where you could be proud of me. I'm always thinking about you. I love you. Don't you know that?" "Look, Nathan, I do believe that you thought about me. I believe that you love me even. But when couples who are together go through rough times, they go through them together. You may have wanted me to be proud of you, but what I wanted was to be able to count on you." "You can," he said urgently. "You can count on me now. Just listen to me, please. Give me 5 minutes and you'll see. I've landed on my feet. Well, I've almost landed on my feet. It's a perfect job for me. For us, really. Let me tell you about it." "Us? There is no us, Nathan." "Natty, I don't blame you. You have every right to feel this way. But we are an us, and I'm going to spend the rest of my life trying to prove it to you if I have to." She stayed quiet. "You remember that insurance company I used to call on, the one in Chicago? Federation Fidelity?" "Yeah, them. Well, they have investigators to look into suspicious claims." "And they hired you?" asked Natty without trying to hide her surprise. He was a licensed private investigator at one point, but his license was revoked due to a second DUI. There was almost no chance he'd ever be licensed again. "Not exactly," he said. "When they close those files internally, they open them up to independent contractors." "So, you're not on their payroll?" "No, but I don't want to be either." Of course, she thought. Who'd want a regular paycheck and benefits? I'm on their independent contractor list, he continued, and that means I'll have access to their files, just like an employee. But I'd be working for a percentage of what we recover. The cases will be a little tougher, but the payoffs will be so much better. We? Yeah, we. Come on, Natty, you know, we could make a great team. I'll do all the networking to get the cases, and I'll do all the initial work. You don't have to get involved until I get stuck. Even then, you don't have to get involved unless you think it's worth your time. For you, it's no investment, no deal. I'll cover all my expenses, and I'll split all the profit with you for any case you get involved with. What's the catch, she wondered. No risk, no investment, he repeated. What do you need me for then, she asked. Well, I'm glad you asked me that. There are two reasons. The first one is most important. I think we're a great team. You're clearly a better investigator than I am, but I'm a better schmoozer than you are. I can get us jobs you can't get, and you can finish jobs I can't finish. And the second reason, she asked? Well, I don't need a PI license, but I do have to be affiliated with a licensed agency. That means I'll have to bond you, Nathan. It means I'll have to be bonded, but I can cover that expense. Like I said, I'll cover my own expenses. Okay, she said. I'll think about it. I'll let you know. What's to think about? There's no risk. Maybe not financially, but there are other issues for me to consider. Is there a reason to be in a hurry? Sort of, he said. I'm going to need you to bail me out of jail. She almost didn't ask. Why are you in jail, Nathan? DUI. She turned her phone off, wishing it could be slammed.